It's a given. Now let's listen to one of the biggest dealers and purveyors of violence in the movie business, Quentin Tarantino, today on radio in clips 7 and 8.
Well, I think, especially for this subject matter, it actually does provide a much-needed catharsis. Because, one, I get a big kick out of cinema violence. Not real life violence, but cinema violence can be a lot of fun. Kung fu movies, all that kind of stuff. It can be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you say to people who say that violent movies can affect people's behavior and creates violent real life behavior?
I don't agree with that at all. I think that's just that whole thing. There's violence in the world. Blame the playmakers.
Okay, now this man is obviously a man who loves violence, and as you well know, the worst usually rise to the top in all spheres, including in the film world. Movies of beauty and of real love are not even made anymore. Any movie that shows the actual realities between a man and a woman wouldn't get through the over the transom, wouldn't be accepted by an agent. The more filthy it is, the more violent it is, the higher the price upon it, which is why they can afford 400-foot yachts in the Caribbean. I mean, that's where the money flows. It flows to the capo on the top. You think the money flows to the top for nothing? I mean, like any other criminal enterprise. The more violence, the more filth, the bigger the gross. And some of it gets kicked up to the Godfathers. So they float around on 300-foot yachts, and you're supposed to believe they're clean because they're invited to the White House and they speak in hushed tones. And they give to various and sundry causes. But the money was made from violence. And we need, as a people, you can say, well, you have the option not to go to a movie. That's rubbish. That is rubbish. That's like saying legalize all drugs. People have the option not to use them. You ask any DEA agent who's honest, they'll tell you that's a lie. I mean, I've spoken to them. Now it's bad enough that you got children who think that marijuana is harmless when it's going to make them, half of them crazy, and the other half violent.